Let's get straight to the point. A well-known market analyst, EGRAG Crypto, says the next XRP target could be epic. He is basing this prediction on a technical concept called the R-squared value, which shows just how closely XRP's price has been following his regression model. And according to him, the numbers are lining up for something big. So, what exactly does this mean, and should investors really take it seriously? Let's break it down. First, EGRAG Crypto has been one of the loudest voices in the XRP community, consistently saying that XRP still has more room to grow in this cycle. In his latest market commentary, he specifically pointed to the R-square value of XRP in relation to his regression model. For those not familiar, the regression model is a statistical method used to map past prices on a logarithmic scale. It basically draws a trend line with upper and lower boundaries, showing the most likely ranges where XRP could move in the future. Now, here's the key part. EGRAG revealed that the current R-squared value of XRP in his model sits at 0.84754. This number might sound overly technical, but in simple terms, it means that about 85% of XRP's price movements can be explained by this model. According to him, that is a strong level of correlation. A value closer to 1 means the model is highly reliable, while a value closer to 0 would suggest randomness. With 0.84754, EGRAG argues the model is doing a very good job of reflecting real price action. That alone explains why he's so confident about his targets. So what are these targets? EGRAG has laid out 3 possible scenarios depending on how XRP interacts with the top boundary of the regression line. The first scenario is relatively modest. If XRP falls short of the upper regression line by about 45%, similar to what happened in April 2021, then the top price would be around $18. The second scenario is more ambitious. If XRP hits the top regression line perfectly, just as it did in December 2013, May 2017, and September 2018, then the price could hit $27. And finally, there's the extreme scenario. If XRP overshoots the regression line like it did in January 2018, then the model predicts a possible spike all the way up to $200. That last number certainly sounds epic, and that's why EGRAG keeps insisting the next XRP target could be extraordinary. He even stresses that any of these 3 outcomes, $18, $27, or $200, would still be highly positive for XRP, as it would mean gains of anywhere between 514% and 6,725% compared to its current trading price of $2.93. However, among these possibilities, EGRAG has consistently championed the $27 target as the most realistic. According to him, XRP would need to rise by 821% to get there. Now, here is where we need to take a step back and analyze this critically. First, while the R-square value of 0.84754 does suggest the model is working well, no statistical model can fully capture the unpredictability of the crypto market. Real-world factors like SEC regulations, global economic conditions, or even sudden news events can cause prices to move in ways that no regression model could ever predict. Second, let's look at XRP's history. It has indeed followed major uptrends in the past, but those rallies were often triggered by external catalysts, like the 2017 bull run or the hype leading up to the January 2018 overshoot. Right now, the big unknown is regulation. The SEC has not yet fully resolved its stance on XRP, and while the community is optimistic, uncertainty remains. That is something no chart can fully price in. Third, we also need to consider investor psychology. Yes, $200 sound exciting, but such extreme predictions can sometimes fuel unrealistic expectations. If XRP only hits $18 or even $27, some investors might feel disappointed, even though those would still be massive gains. This shows the importance of managing expectations and not treating models as guarantees. EGRAG Crypto deserves credit for building a framework that helps visualize XRP's potential. His consistent argument that XRP is still following its long-term bullish structure makes sense if we look strictly at the data. But as with any market prediction, we should also ask, what could go wrong and what external factors could change the outcome? So, is the next XRP target really going to be epic? Well, if EGRAG's model holds up, then yes, XRP could be in for a significant rally. But whether it ends at $18, $27, or the much-hyped $200 would depend not just on the math, but also on real-world developments. And that is the part that investors need to keep in mind before making decisions. What's clear is that the discussion around XRP is heating up again, and analysts like EGRAG Crypto are fueling hopes of a breakout. The only question left is, will reality match the model? Or will the crypto market remind us once again that it doesn't always follow predictions?